Hello everyone, I'm Fan of Thomas 31, and whoa, my workspace is a mess. Aside from that, I just returned from a trip to Walmart and I found the 4 new Motorized 80th Anniversary Thomas items. All Engines Go has been and gone, and while I still have quite the backlog of items to review, I wanted to do a quick unscripted mini review of these new motorized items to see where the Thomas toy industry stands right now. With that said, I want to talk about the new packaging style first. As you can see, these toys follow the up-to-date motorized packaging. There's a lot of similarities between the late All Engines Go packaging, except now the new toys have CGI promos and the 80th anniversary logo. I do like how creative the presentation is on these new boxes, with a very uniquely shaped box and Thomas being plastered on the barcode. I also like the metal detailing they put around the box, as if to welcome these new CGI toys. Other than all this, they're all just plain generic motorized boxes, so let's go ahead and see the toys inside. Here are all 4 engines taken out of the box. I must say, figuring out how to open the box was pretty tricky, until I figured out that all the trains were just kept in a plastic bubble that you could tear out of the box. Inside each box, you get the engine as well as 2 cars to go with it. You also get an instruction and safety manual, although the pictures on it seem to have been reused from the pre-All Engines Go motorized stuff. Right off the bat, I'm noticing that these trains are a lot more detailed than previous motorized items, with rivet detailing, black painted front buffers, and even white running boards, which is something that we haven't seen on American produced Thomas toys in a while. Briefly going over each pack in detail, I can safely say that Thomas is the best looking one of this group. As an already little engine, he translates into a little toy very well. He's a lot bigger when compared to an older motorized Thomas, but seems to be just a tiny bit smaller when compared to an All Engines Go Thomas. I also like his decorated cab windows, even though he has an unpainted whistle, and the dirt detailing on his sides. Seriously, what is this? I mean, it doesn't bring the look of the toy down, but I can't tell what it is. Is it water residue? I can only assume this residue was added because this Thomas might loosely be based on that one infamous Railway Series illustration. Hence why he also comes with troublesome trucks and not Annie and Clarabelle. Speaking of the trucks, they're both near identical to each other. The only core differences are their alternate facial expressions and their crate loads, which are the exact same mold but are different shades of brown. Much like the new engines, these troublesome trucks are high in detail, with rust patterns and brand new chassis. However, aside from the chassis, these trucks are near similar to the motorized troublesome trucks that came before them. Moving on to James, we come to our first problem with these new toys. The big engines are too big. Seriously, even though James appears to be about the same size as Thomas, albeit a little longer, he looks rather chunky and bulky for a James toy. But these details probably look a lot worse on camera than they do in person. I think this James looks nice, and I really like the semi-hollowed out cab that they gave him, which is a nice improvement towards his All Engines Go cab. Matter of fact, all of this new James is a huge improvement towards the All Engines Go one, even though the bulkiness of the All Engines Go toys kind of rubbed off onto these. Quickly looking at James's tender, I like how his coal load is removable. Some people might find this plate feature rather confusing, but I think it's rather nifty, because now the tender can be used as a cargo car, making the tender engines compatible with playsets that only short trains would be able to work on. The additional car James comes with is a plain white tanker car, which appears to be a brand new tooling, combining the previous CGI motorized tanker with the new All Engines Go one. But unlike the All Engines Go tanker, which can be taken off of its car, the new tanker is fixed to its base, so it can't be removed. Now looking at Gordon, I think he suffers from the bulkiness worse than James. Just look at that face, it's huge. He looks even fatter than his All Engines Go toy. His front end is also rather flat, and you can see that one of the cylinders on mine has a bit of a painting error. But other than that, I like this Gordon. He doesn't have as many rivet details as the others, but he does have some extra valve gear detailing, and the coal load in his tender is removable, much like James's. The extra car Gordon comes with is very fittingly an express coach. Although, in typical motorized fashion, the express coach more resembles Annie and Clarabelle than an actual express coach. But I do like the slight alterations they gave it just to make it look a little more accurate. Finally, we come to Flying Scotsman and, yeah, he might just be the ugliest out of the bunch. Even though his running board sticks out more compared to Gordon, he has an incredibly flat face, and his wide chimney doesn't really help his appearance. He looks proportionately similar to Gordon, but that's probably just because they look a little identical in the show. He has the extra valve gear detailing much like Gordon, but he also has his smoke deflectors, long dome, nameplate, and a fixed coal load in his tender which can't be removed. He also has his second water tender, with both tenders having just a little bit extra rivet detailing along with his cab. Flying Scotsman was the only character in this group who did not receive an All Engines Go variant, but he did get a motorized release right before All Engines Go started. His current release seems to be a whole new tooling though. And so that was a brief look at the brand new Motorized Thomas toys. Despite their shortcomings, I'm really glad that we have the CGI style back, especially given that the characters have side rods again. As I said earlier, Thomas is my favorite of the bunch, but I would gladly recommend picking up any of these new toys. Although, I feel like it's worth mentioning that the prices of these packs have gone up slightly compared to the All Engines Go packs, retailing at approximately $15 now. Well, I guess that was to be expected in today's economy. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed my brief look at these new Thomas toys. I've been Fan of Thomas 31, and I'll see you next time.